Okay, Assalamualaikum dan selamat petang. So hari ini saya akan buat video untuk kelas asynchronous. Okay, bagi kelas network security DFN40143. Okay, hari ini kita akan masuk chapter 2. Okay, network infrastructure. Okay, so untuk this chapter, okay, you will have 3 post learning outcome. The first one is for you to explain and display network device that enable wired and wireless network communication. And SERO 2 is for you to explain devices and services used to enhance network security. And the third one is explain and display the representation of network and network topology. So slide saya, you can anda boleh download dengan isi DOS ya. Okay, so anda lihat so subjector 1, okay, you will learn how to display wired and wireless network. Yang kedua, how can you prepare devices, okay, to enhance security. And the third one is to display the representation, okay, into of topology lah, mostly 2.3. So kita akan pergi kepada subchapter 2.1. Okay, supposed to be this week your class supposed to finish all chapter 2 Okay, so I might try my best okay, to make as possible for you to finish chapter 2 in this week. Okay, so in subchapter 2.1 we have another 2 subchapter, which is first to explain network devices that enable network communication, and to explain wireless devices that enable network communication. So network devices is the wired lah. So wireless is the wireless. You do not need a wired. Okay, so first network devices. Okay, so network devices have 2 types. Okay, the first one is end device. So end device, it can be computers, laptops, servers, printers, smart device, and mobile devices. Today we use a lot of technology, and nowadays people have many mobile device. So mobile device nowadays is end device. Okay, so this is all individual end device connected to network by intermediary devices. Okay, long time ago, intermediary devices is known as network device, but now Cisco has changed this into intermediary device, mean device yang berada di tengah-tengah lah, okay, antara LAN. So what is intermediate device? Okay, intermediary device is connect individual end device such as computer and laptop to the network and connect multiple individual network to form an internetwork. So as you can see here, okay, on the LAN, so all on the LAN, okay, yang hujung-hujung ni, this is all end device. So between all this, okay, this kepada network, internetwork ni routers lah biasa. Okay, this one we call intermediate. Okay, this one is a switches. Okay, so this one they provide connectivity. Okay, so it can also be wireless router, firewall, and router itself. Okay, now I will skip this one. Okay, now we go to the type of network devices. So you have a router, you have hub, bridges, and LAN. Okay, I will go to router first. So what is a router? What is the function of a router? So as you can see here in this diagram, okay, so router, okay, usually put in the middle of the network. As you can see, this is central, this is branch, branch, central, and home office. So all this is a remote office. Okay, so router must be the last connection to go to the internet or to go to the cloud. Okay, so router usually connected to the WAN. WAN is the wide area network. So what is the function of a router? So router provides path determination and packet forwarding. So router ni lah yang cari jalan macam mana dia nak hantar paket. Okay, responsible for encapsulating and decapsulating packet. Okay, what's the meaning of encapsulating? Encapsulating bermaksud di-encapkan paket kepada segmen, okay, kepada frame. Okay, decapsulating dia pergi naik ke atas balik lah. Okay, uses a routing table to determine the best path to use to send packet to a specified network. So as you can see, okay, the keyword here is best path. Bermaksud if you use a router, you need to configure a routing protocol. So what kind of routing protocol you can use? You can use static, you can use a dynamic. Dynamic can be RIP, it can be EIGRP, it can be SIS, depend on your organization requirement. So in a router, there is a routing table. So what is the function of routing table? Okay, this is to directly connect third routes and remote routes. Okay, so that they can know, okay, this particular network should be forward to what interface. Okay, so router search is routing table for a network address. Okay, network address. So network address is the first address, okay, in that particular subnet. Okay, so usually network address known with the prefix, okay, that match the destination IP address. Then it used as the last gateway resort if learned or configured. Otherwise, the packet will be discarded. Mean if the route okay, the packet is not in the route, it will be discarded. Why is it discarded? Because the router do not know, okay, where to forward the packet. So this is what I said, the encapsulation and decapsulation. Okay, so there are three major steps. Okay, the first decapsulation means from the layers 7, if this is OISI layer, go to layer 1. That's we call decapsulation. Okay, from the layer 1, go back to layer 7, we call it encapsulation. Okay. Okay, as I can say previously, okay, decapsulation is from layer 7. Sorry, encapsulation is from layer 7 to layer 1. Decapsulation is from layer 1, go back to layer 7. Okay, so don't be confused. Okay, encapsulation means the wrapping, okay, with the packet. Okay, usually this is application. So in layer 3, this is a packet data. This is data that will be forwarded. So the data will be encapsulated with information for layer 2. Usually before it be encapsulated, it will be divided into a segment, okay, a frame segment. And so information of layer 2 will be wrapped around it lah. So that it can go to layer 1, okay, go into the frame, the bits, okay, encapsulated again to layer 1. Then we go all to the interface of router. Okay, let's see they have 1, 2, 3, and lastly, if this router know the destination, okay, before it go to PC2 application layer, it will be decapsulated. Means the additional information that has been wrapped, okay, in the layer 1 and layer 2 will be decapsulation. Dia akan buang. Okay, encapsulating ni bermaksud dia menambahkan maklumat supaya dia dapat turun yang lain-lain lah. Alright. So next, router operation. So primary function of router is of course to determine the best path. Okay, kita ada router sebab kita nak determine the best path. Itu memang fungsi dia. Okay, so the router will search each routing table for a network address that match the destination address of the packet. Okay, so it will search, okay, in these three. Okay, the first one is the directly connected network. That's why the first thing, okay, the router will try to search. Okay, if not, don't have the information, that it will search for the remote network. So if the remote network also cannot be find the destination for that particular packet, so no route determined. So usually it will be discarded. Okay, it will be dropped. Okay, so this is the flow of forwarding decision process. Okay, so but if they can find the packet either in using directly connected network or the remote network, so the packet will be forwarded. Okay, so router information. So in terms of router, when the router is configured, okay, usually you can find a lot of information. It's very useful information. Okay, the first one is directly connected routes and remote routes. Okay, ini yang dia akan determine the best part pada sesuatu data atau paket yang nak dihantar. So, destination network can be added in several ways. Ada beberapa cara. The first, you can configure the interface. Okay, local interface. Yang kedua, okay, directly connected interface added to routing table. So, added to routing table, macam saya cakap, okay, dia perlu menggunakan routing protocol. So, you need to know lah what kind of routing protocol that you want to use. Okay, so either one, you can use also a static route. So, static route is so time consuming. Usually, if you have a lot of interface or a network, you don't use static route. Okay, but you need to manually configure. Usually, you use a dynamic routing protocol. Alright, so next. So what is the difference between static and dynamic protocol? So this one, okay, this is a video here. Okay, very good video. Okay. I hope that you can try to open part of it. Okay. Then watch the video. Okay. Then please jot down the difference between static and dynamic routing. Okay. Now, so the next network device or intermediary device. So it will be hubs, bridges, LAN, and switches. Okay. I believe. Okay. Usually you have seen the router and also a switch. Okay, usually not many people use the bridge of hub. Okay, so but you need to know there are some companies still using a hub and bridge because this one of device is a cheap low cost solution lah. Okay, for a typical tiny medium of company lah. So internet hub, okay, this usually acts as a multi-port repeaters. Okay, dia macam repeater, dia terus sambungkan signal tu. Okay, basically dia tak ada pemprosesan, dia cuma sambung, menghubungkan. Okay, bridges. So bridges usually have two interface. Okay, so it can divide network into multiple connection domain. So orang dia kadang-kadang dia upkan sikit pakai bridge sebab dia tak nak ada multiple connection domain lah. And the last one, this is a very important LAN switches. So LAN switches, they have a lot of LAN switches. Okay, so LAN switches, okay, can separate LAN to connection domain lah. Okay, so for switches, okay, the forwarding decision is based on internet MAC addresses. Okay, it don't use all this, it don't use IP, it use MAC addresses. Okay, this is how switching operation. So as you can see here, okay, PCA, this is new PC, is added to the switch. So what will it be? Will become, so it will have a MAC address. Okay, so it will tell the switch. Okay, this switch will know, will get the MAC address from the this port 1, and then the switch know that the source MAC address for port 1 is not in their MAC address table. Okay, for switch they have MAC address table, for router they have routing table. So when they don't have the MAC address table, what will it be? What will it do? Okay, the switch will add this new MAC address to the address lah. Okay. So now, okay, MAC address table on connected switch. Okay, so this one okay, so switch can have multiple MAC address. Okay, so they can have separate MAC address table entry for each frame. So this is a very important video, so please watch it. Alright, try to open this one first. Okay,
Ethernet frame to PCA.
Okay, so
we're going to
this is
examine
from this
how
drawing
switches
tutorial.
S1 and S2.
So as you can see here, okay, they represent how the connection between PC in a switches. This is a very good explanation. So please, please watch the video. Okay, they have part 1 and part 2. Okay, now next VLAN. Okay, so in switches, LAN switches, okay, it support for VLANs. Okay, VLANs is stand for Virtual Local Area Network. So why we need a VLAN? Because sometimes in a medium company or a big company, they have a lot of department. So all department might be located in different physical places. So the VLAN can overcome the burden of the physical by connecting using the logical. Logical ni bermaksud based on the IP addresses. Okay, so tak kisahlah. Okay, contoh there are IT guys in both first floor, second floor and third floor. The same with HR, they have in first floor, second floor and third floor. Mungkin the first floor is for engineering, second floor is for oil and gas, third floor mungkin is for business. For each of the department, they have their own IT guy, they have their own HR, they have their own sales. For all these IT guys in different department, they need to be connected to each other because of their work. Example, so what the ITM can do is connected all these IT person in first and second and third using a VLAN, Virtual Local Area Network. The same for HR and cell. So even though it differently, physically different, but each logically in one group. This is the beauty of VLAN. They create logical. Okay, we can span multiple physical statements. So this type of architecture improve network performance. Okay, alright, so STP. So in VLAN, okay, definitely they have STP, spanning tree protocol. So what is STP? Okay, by default STP is on in every Cisco router. If you on, in every Cisco switches, if you on it by default, the STP is auto on. Okay, it's not off. Okay, STP function is to ensure a single logical pathway between all destinations by blocking redundant paths. Why? Because they don't. If let's say the switch don't have a path, they can be a loop, which means like this, Alright. Okay, so PCC want to go to PC4. Okay, so to go to switches, then see these switches say, okay, so I know the connection to PCC, so to PC4. Okay, I can use S1 and I can use S3. Okay, let's say if you don't enable the STP in all of these switches, what will happen ialah switch 2 will say, okay, I need to pass the frame to switch 3, and switch 3 will say, oh, switch 1 know the destination to PC4, then switch 1 also we know, PC2 also have the destination, so it will be loop between all the switches non-stop. That is if you don't have STP. That's why you need to have STP. So when you have STP, automatically all the switches will do a calculation which what should be blocked. So in STP spanning tree protocol, they have a listening port, they have a blocking port, and they have a forwarding port. So all the port ni is depend on the MAC address. Akan tengok MAC address mana. Okay, dia ada beberapa operation lah. Okay, this one they use a PDU frame lah to prevent loops. Okay, usually kat this one, dia akan dekat this one lah. Okay, usually maybe this one is the lowest. Okay, the lowest address. Okay, multi-layer switches. Okey, ini dulu kalau syllabus sekejap syllabus Cisco yang lama dia adalah wajib untuk pelajar tahu cara mana switch, nak tahu which port to be blocked. Okey, so kalau dulu lah syllabus lama dia ada bagi tahu. Okey, what the MAC address, what the IP address. So dia ada beberapa step. Okey, first dia akan tengok MAC address tak ada, dia akan tengok kepada loop address, dia akan tengok kepada IP address. Okey, so untuk yang sekarang kita berada dalam network security. So network security assumption anda dah tahu. Okay, so multi-layer switching. Okay, some switch the permit multi-layer switches. Okay, so this one for multi-layer switches the support virtual interface. This is what we call SVI. Okay, so for SVI you can rotate a port. Okay, physical port like interface or router not associated with VLAN or SVI itself. Okay, configure for any VLAN within the layer switch. Okay, so I can see here lah. Alright, usually dia pakai router lah nak pisahkan antara VLAN 1 dan VLAN 2. So multi-layer switches, okay, is not a router but it have capability such as a router to divide all this VLAN using SVI interface. So this is better lah in terms of cost. This is cheaper. Okay, so this is wireless communication. I will skip this one. Okay, now protocol. So I will go to the protocol lah. Dah tak lama sikit je. So protocol and features untuk wireless. Okay, so for wireless LAN VLAN use a radio frequency. Okay, instead of cable. That's why wireless you punya laptop atau you punya data mobile. Okay, so dia perlu ada connection lah kepada wireless. If you don't have the antenna for the wireless, you cannot connect to the internet. Okay, so it need to connect client through access point. Okay, tak payah guna internet switch. Switch dia perlukan kabel. So wireless tak perlu. The beauty of the wireless of course is the mobility lah. Okay, so untuk wireless LAN nowadays we use 802.11. Ini yang sekarang masih digunakan sampai sekarang Alright, dulu punya dia pakai okay, yang untuk LAN dia pakai 802.3. Okay, this one wired. Okay, dia pakai kabel. Okay, so untuk wired dia guna connection detection. Dia detect, sebelum detect dia dah avoid. Okay, untuk wireless dia guna connection avoided. Ini panggil CSDMA. CSMA/CD. Okay, so yang ini CSMA/CA avoided. Okay, kita cuba untuk mengelak. Okay, so regulation untuk internet LAN dia ada community IEE dia. Tapi untuk wireless depend to the country. Okay, so untuk wireless operation ni usually okay, dia menggunakan wireless access point known as AP. Okay, so untuk configure dia ada beberapa perkara lah. Okay, first network mode, kedua SSID. SSID ni bermaksud nama je lah. Channel setting, security mode, encryption and password. Kadang-kadang ada orang tak letak password dan encryption ni, but for the security part please letak. Okay, so for you to use the connected to internet, okay, your device must discover or connected to AP or wireless router. It can be a passive or active. If let's say the device not connected to the wireless router, mean the device cannot access the internet. Okay, alright. So in terms of client to AP SSH process, okay, ini adalah cara bagaimana client connected kepada access point. Okay, the first dia kena discovery dulu. Okay, wireless tu kena tahu apa access point contoh laptop client dia kena discover dulu there is a SP, there is access point, there is a wireless access point. Kalau dia tak tahu benda tu ada, dia tak boleh connected. Okay, so usually memang access point ni yang connected dengan switch, mesti ada wired. Okay, tapi end device pada dia boleh hanya menggunakan itulah macam saya cakap tadi, wireless. Okay, so after dia discover, dia kena buat authentication. So best practice if let's say you have your own wireless or you have your own at home or when you work, once we there when you work, okay, make sure when you configure access point, you need to configure for authentication. Okay, this is best practice. Okay, so dia akan tengok, cari, jumpa tak, ada challenge tak, kalau ada dia akan retrieve dan dapat, then dia akan associate. Okay, so what wireless ni akan forward a association request from, okay, yang ada di punya MAC address kepada this particular AP, dan dia akan reply. Kalau dia cakap dia boleh terima, dia akan terima beserta dengan MAC address. So dan this particular access point akan map logical port to the wireless client. Okay, alright, so wireless device okay, they have a lot kind of device, okay, for wireless. It can be access point. Usually people use access point. Okay, it can be wireless LAN controller, or it can also be lightweight AP, depend. Okay. Okay, so now we are finished for subject 2.1. Okay, so for next video I will explain my lecture on the 2.2. Okay, so for now that's all. Okay, bye bye.